is Arpana Caur. I'll be 70 this year. I'm a painter. I won't say it's my profession, it's my passion. And my mother tells me that I started with charcoal on walls, which out of her generosity, she never stopped me from soiling those walls. Then I graduated to newspapers, and I think I did my first oil at the age of 9, because in our neighborhood there was Surinder Singh. He was a professional painter, and I would sit in his studio, and the first oil was mother and daughter from Amrita Shergill's painting. I was deeply inspired by her, and so much so that my mother never gave me a name in school. When I was 15 and had to fill the school certificate, the principal said, "Your pet name is very silly, so you have to choose a proper name." My mother, being a very unconventional writer, a black sheep in a family of doctors, a writer, a very bold, revolutionary mind, didn't want to brand me with a name. She's called Ajit, and Ajit means sick. My carpenters called Ajit Singh, Paramjit Kaur. She always found her name very prosaic. And also it identifies your religion. So she said, you call yourself whatever you like, Mary, Fatima, whatever, Ajit, Paramjit, but I don't want to brand you with a name or religion. You choose your own. So my first thought was Amrita, because I was a great fan of hers. So I thought, who am I to call myself after her? I'll be laughable. Then the name Arpana came up. That time I was in school in Simla. We used to write postcards. So I wrote to her, I want to call myself Amrita, but I've thought of Arpana. She said, whatever you choose, and I don't know any other example of anybody who's given the freedom to choose their own name. And this is because of my mother. Also, where I stand today, I'm able to paint every day. Those were difficult times, because for women especially the product of a single mother who was working 18 hours a day to bring up 2 daughters and trying to give them the best of education on very meager means, and having no father or brother or any male member in those days seemed like a big blot, that you were different from everybody else, and it gave a huge complex. And one turns to art and writing sometimes to overcome that kind of gap in one's life, because it gives you an identity. Who am I? So it's not you creating the art, it's art creating you. Slowly it gives you confidence that you have something in you, an identity. And I think products of single mothers often go through this. And my mother was there all through. My first group show was way back, exactly 50 years ago, in 1974, when Hussain selected an exhibition of young artists. She was by my side. 3 paintings were selected when I did my first solo in 75. Still in college, she was by my side. And those are days when women were not on the art horizon at all. You would count women artists on the fingertips. Nobody took us seriously. One line in the newspaper, in my first group show in Hindustan Times, encouraged me, one line, to have a solo. And then there were one-liners and couple of papers in that first solo encouraged me to have a show in Bombay in 80, which was a great success, because Bombay used to receive artists with open arms, unknown young artists. Delhi in those days was nowhere on the art scene. It was a city of babus, government servants. The Bombay had Parsi collectors, it had many galleries. Now Delhi has overtaken that. So wherever we went, My canvases were always this size, huge, 6 feet. We would roll them up, go by Rajdhani, stay in the YWCA. Stretchers means the wood on which you stretch the canvas under the berth. Whole night, Mummy and I stretching canvases and putting up the show, staying in the YWCA, knowing nobody in the city, but it was a sellout somehow because Bombay had galleries and Parsi collectors. Now things are totally changed because women artists have come into their own in the last 20 years. Now there's no discrimination between men and women artists. Then nobody took us seriously. And in 1986, I got my first Triennale International Award with another woman sculptor, Pushpmala from Bangalore. That was really the first time any women got international awards in this. And it was on the front page of any newspaper. National Gallery of Modern Art had a show of women artists for the first time and gave a room each to each artist. And the latest show finished last month in National Gallery of Modern Art of women artists. There was one in 86, one now, it's going to Bombay. So as far as pricing and visibility in media is concerned, we have no problems since last 20 years.